All right, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is part 2 of Unknown Caller, the high school catfish. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little pre-K pause right here.
Okay.
If you have not listened to episode 1, scooch on back over there because you're going to want to hear that before you listen to this. Although, if you like to, live your life on the wild side, then you feel free to continue. But that is your disclosure that this is a 2-parter and you are on part 2.
Yes, absolutely. So in the last part, we gave you all the context, all the background, and just a brief overview in case it's been a week and you're like, wait, where did we leave off? Lauren and Owen were the golden couple in high school. They start getting these random text messages that are very threatening, harassing, disgusting.
Harassing for sure.
And nobody can figure out who it is. And the FBI gets involved and they pull some search warrants from the third-party apps that this person is using, which leads them to 2 IP addresses that then they are going to now match with phone numbers connected to the case, and they connect it to a phone number.
Yeah.
And guess
who have a name?
Guess who it is?
Okay, I'm going to say, get ready before we tell you. Just open your windows. Drive to your local Circle K parking lot and get ready to fight somebody. Yep. Okay?
It's
however you handle your rage, just take a second, get ready. Because the sender, our catfisherman, is, drumroll please, Kendra Lucari, Lauren's mother.
Lauren's mom!
Yeah. She has been sending her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend and her daughter's ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend's mom harassing text messages for over a year.
Disgusting text messages. And remember, she's saying stuff like, kill yourself. Nobody wants your ugly flat ass. Nobody likes you. You look anorexic.
Also making sexually explicit comments about how her daughter's boyfriend wants to do explicit things with her.
Dude, she talks about blowjobs. She talks about, there are words I can't say. And y'all know which words I can't say.
She says the P word.
She says the P word.
Oh, do you know what else she says in this a lot that I did not like at all? I'm going to say it. You're going to cringe.
I know exactly.
She says the word cream.
She sure does. She says cream a lot.
A lot. Like, can we not, if we're going to be that vulgar, if we're going to be as vulgar as she's been, can we not just say cum? Can we not do that? It feels less yucky somehow.
I don't know. They're both really yucky.
Either way, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
All of it's disgusting.
She's saying, and again, remember, she's talking about her daughter's boyfriend who is 13 when this starts.
Yeah.
By the time they break up, he's 16.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We get a name. The FBI finds a name. And who is the first person they call? Jill, Owen's mom. And they call Jill and they tell her, and she immediately said, no, it couldn't be Kendra. There's no way. Because let's keep in mind that Kendra and Jill are BFFs. Their families are close. Owen and Lauren had been close up to this point. Kendra has been assisting in the investigate, whatever. She's been participating. She's been going with Jill up to the school. She's been doing all of the things to be like, find the person who's harassing my daughter. And I want to kick her straight in the teeth. Okay, anyway.
And the school officials are like, no, it can't be Kendra. She coaches here and she's up here all the time trying to figure this out. And the police are like, gosh, I just don't know. But then they were like, well, she is always around when the kids get the messages.
Yep.
She has an IT background. She's at the school all the time because she's either a coach or a volunteer for every event that we have. Maybe. So they get a search warrant for her phone.
Yep.
Her devices and I think her house too.
Yeah.
And they said, it definitely her number is the one that's connected to these IP addresses, but it's not exactly cut and dry. Like, you do need a little bit more evidence.
Right.
They would like to have a recorded confession. So they go to the Lucari home. Kendra's home in what appears to be pajamas, which is fine, but that's going to come into play in just a minute because it's during the day, I think.
It is relevant.
And they meet with her and they say, hey, we've got a search warrant for your devices. They say, is anybody else home? She says, yeah, Lauren's here. They're like, you need to keep her out of this conversation because she needs to stay in her bedroom. And so they basically say, look, we did all of these things and it led back to you. And she's like, my phone? What? No, I don't think so. And they're like, Kendra, what happened? Like, what's going on? And so they say, you send these first messages, you know, that first Halloween or whatever. And she's like, no, those first messages didn't start with me. Those were just like random or whatever. But
yeah,
then I kind of like fed off them.
But she also does this thing where she never admits that it's her, but she also doesn't deny that it's her.
Right. And it's just like, oh, I just couldn't stop it. And
she's very blasé about the whole thing, which is infuriating.
It's absolutely infuriating, and it's going to get so much worse.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, does Lauren have any idea that this could be you? And she's like, no, she has no idea. She wouldn't know it was me. Then they bring in Lauren and they sit her down and Kendra's standing there, and I'm going to get on a real big soapbox about this in just a second. But they tell Lauren, Kendra's gotten wrapped up in some stuff and she didn't start it, but she did continue it, and they're going to have to take her phone and her devices. So they're not directly telling Lauren at this point that her mother is responsible. Again, I guess they haven't searched her phone yet, right? Like, they've got the warrant for it. They strongly suspect it's her, but they have not officially confirmed. So they're not telling Lauren it was her at this point. But they did tell Lauren, it's going to be out in the public and there's no way you're going to be able to avoid this. You need to call your dad so that he can come home. So then Sheriff Maine talks to Shawn, and he tells him that they figured it out. And he is at work when they call him, and they're like, hey, are you somewhere this is Detective Maine, like, we're at your house, like, whatever. Are you somewhere where you can talk privately? And he's like, yeah. And so, in his mind, he's like, great, they've figured it out and they're about to tell me. He is not prepared for what he's about to hear. And then they're like, by the way, it was your wife. And he is speechless.
Yeah.
And he immediately leaves work and he comes home. So the sheriff meets him outside. So before he even gets in the house, he hasn't seen Kendra yet. They basically tell him what they've found. And they're like, we've got a search warrant where you're going to have to take phones and computers, all devices, that kind of thing, right? And Shawn says, which I thought this was very interesting. He immediately says, because they say, we've got her phone. And he says, what does the phone look like? The phone that you took, what does that look like? And they're like, well, I don't know. They describe it, a black phone, iPhone, I don't know, whatever it is. He's like, okay, well, she's got a couple of phones. And the police officer is like,
she didn't tell us that.
Yeah. And they ask her multiple times, they're like, do you have any other computers? Do you have any other cell phones? Do you have any other devices that like connect to the internet or anything like that? She's like, nope, just my computer and my phone. That's it. So it's interesting to me that immediately Shawn clocks and is like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
What phone do you have?
Mm-hmm.
So Sheriff Maine is obviously like, well, son of a bitch. And then they basically go through the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't gone through the whole house at this point, but now they have to because obviously she's being freaking dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
Which
and they tell her
shocking.
too. They're like, look, we don't want to rip your house apart. We don't want to turn it upside down, but we will. Like, you need to give us all the devices that you have. Like, it's just inside. And he even says, like, while they're standing outside talking, he says, yeah, so, I guess this all kind of started like around the time that she got let go from Ferris, which was the state university or whatever.
Yeah.
She worked at a school. And Shawn sits there for a minute and he goes, wait, wait, did you say let go? She told me that she quit there. And they were like, no, she got let go. And you can see his whole world is just spinning. Like, he does not know what's going on. So they're inside and they get the other phone from her. And then Shawn says, what happened with Ferris? And he says, you told me you quit, but they're telling me you got fired. And she's like, yeah, I was let go from there. He's like, what about the remote job in Texas? And she's like, yeah, same thing. And he's like, when did that happen? She's like, around the same time. He's like, so you've been lying to me for like 6 months, a year at least? Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, you know, but she was so like, again, like you said, like blasé about it. She's like, yeah. And she's, this whole time, this is what really pissed me off. Oh. She's grabbing Lauren, like holding on to her, hugging her, grabbing her hand. And Lauren's face, y'all, looks like there ain't nothing there.
No, she is shut down.
She's completely shut down. Yeah. She's just like this blank stare on her face, which I cannot imagine what either one of them are feeling. And Shawn, to his credit, is like, you need to call somebody to come get you while these police officers are still here, because I do not want to lose my shit. Because if I lose my shit, one of us or both of us is going to jail, and then we lose her. I'm not doing that. You need to go somewhere. You need to go stay at a hotel. I don't care where you go, but you need to get out of here. And she's like, Shawn, just wait a second. Hang on. And he's like, no. You know what? I'll call your parents, but they need to come get you. And like, good on him.
He handled it with as much grace as anyone could.
And he's
far more than I would have.
100%. Like, I'm worked up talking about it, but he was really calm.
Yeah.
Saying
I think he had that calm rage thing going.
Oh, yeah.
But I would be like, listen, police, you cannot leave this home while the two of us are here.
Nope.
We can't be left unsupervised.
Nope.
Now, if she needs to make arrangements to go somewhere, that's fine. If me and my daughter need to make arrangements to go somewhere, that's fine. But you have to be here to mediate this situation until we are no longer in each other's presence, because I'm going to lose it. And I sure as hell am not leaving my daughter here. And the whole time, Kendra is like, I can't leave her. She needs me. I can't leave my baby. Off. Like you told your baby to go kill herself. Like, don't speak to me ever.
I do believe something mentally happened to her. But oh my God. And they also said that, okay, so Kendra's like, well, it was just an escape. You know, it was a way to get me out of everyday life. I mean, it still was real life, obviously, because I was dealing with it. And it was affecting my
harassing teenagers.
Family in real life.
Is your escape.
Yeah. And she said, because the director is like, did you think that Lauren would hurt herself? Because you texted her to kill herself multiple times. And she goes, no. I mean, if I didn't know Lauren as well as I knew her, and we weren't having the kind of conversations we were having, I might have been scared that she would hurt herself. But no, she wouldn't. I knew she wouldn't do that. I wasn't worried about that. I'm like,
yeah.
And then she said, yeah, you know, I talked a lot about her. Well, she really distanced herself. So maybe she said the messages talked a lot about like, her insecurities. You know, maybe you could see it as maybe playing on her insecurities. She's like, but Lauren knew she was petite. She knew that she was small. So, you know, it wasn't like it was a secret. Like, I don't view it as like playing on her insecurities. Like, really? Because that's exactly what it was.
100%. And she even makes a comment like, well, at the time, I was probably too small too. I was really small at the time. And so maybe I was like subconsciously calling out my own insecurities and projecting them onto her.
Right. Like, girl, I was sending the messages to myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, she clearly has some mental issues going on. And that is awful. And she certainly needs to get help. But I will not accept that as an excuse for this behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Your trauma is not an excuse to traumatize other people.
No.
It's just not.
No.
I'm so sad for you that that's happening. I have empathy for you because that's got to be so scary and so difficult to be fighting your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not an excuse
No.
to take that out on other people. Like, you don't get to hurt people just because you're hurting.
Right. And she, she says some stuff about her history and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's true. I don't know about any of that. But again, your trauma, while it is heartbreaking, is your own to manage and your own to deal with.
Yes.
And to do what she did to her child and to other children is horrific. Because remember, it didn't just affect, and it affected Lauren and Owen in very, very significant ways. But Chloe got pulled into it. Adriana got pulled into it. Like, it was bad. It affected a lot of people for a really, really, really long time. And remember, poor Shawn during this time, he's like, I'm working as hard as I can, but Kendra managed all of the finances, and the police confirm this. And that they have done a forensic accounting of all of their records and shit. And so they say that, Kendra was the one who paid all the bills. She did all the scheduling. She did like anything that happened in that house, that it went through Kendra, anything.
Yep.
And so she was telling them that financially that they were fine. And he said at one point their house got struck by lightning. I don't think anybody else was there. Kendra filed a bunch of insurance claims for money, and people think she just kept the money. Like, I'm sure it was a false insurance claim. Then another time, he says they pull into the driveway. There's this big paper on the door and they're getting evicted. And he's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And she's like, I didn't pay the bills. And so he's like, I got everything that we owned. I put it in storage. I said, can we afford this? And she goes, oh, yeah. Storage units, not that much. They end up losing the storage units, and everything that was inside of them is gone. And Shawn is tearing up and saying, everything I've worked for in my whole life was in those storage units, and it's gone. Souvenirs, memories, things that we kept, all gone. And Kendra says, no, that's not the way I see it. Shawn was aware of the financial situations that we were in. Just unfortunately, neither one of us knew the right actions to take at the time, but he knew what was going on. She ends up getting arrested, and in court, the judge was like, you need some jail time. Is what you need, because this is not okay. This was especially heinous. This was terrible. You also are to have no contact with the victims, which includes her own child. And the prosecution said, we hoped that by them not having contact with each other, that would kind of lift the veil of control that Kendra had over Lauren. And it is really sad because they do start communicating again, and Lauren is, again, she's still a child. Yes. And even if she's over 18 at this point, she's still a child. And this is her mother, who she trusted for so many years. And she is more guarded with her now, but she still is like, I miss my mom. I love my mom. I need her in my life. Like, it's a very complicated thing, and I hate that she even has to consider all of this. Like, I'm not going to judge her for wanting a relationship with her mom. No. It's just really sad, but Kendra obviously is very controlling, and Kendra says stuff like, oh, well, we both know, that we're in this together, or like, we're super close. We have this bond that just can't be broken. Like, and
I feel bad for Lauren because, of course, she wants a relationship with her mother. Everyone wants a relationship with their mother, even if their mother's terrible, right? But at least to some extent, especially when you are a child.
Yeah, it's hard to let that go. Yeah, especially when you were close, with your mom.
Exactly.
Obviously, my mom didn't do anything like this, but there was a long period of time, probably 10 to 15 years, that I still tried to make that relationship work with my mom, and I was not able to do that and continue to heal and have my own healthy boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So at a point, I was not able to do that anymore. So, like, yeah, I understand that. It's like...
It's different. And her whole relationship with her mother is based on manipulation. And Lauren doesn't know, I'm sure she knows that, but even when you know something, that's your mom. That's the only maternal relationship you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know what it's supposed to be like?
Right.
It makes it very easy to be like, well, it wasn't that bad. Or like, well,
Yeah.
I know she did this awful thing, but like, it was because she loves me.
Yes.
And like, that just speaks to how deep Kendra got into her psyche, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because Kendra's whole reason for doing all of this is she says that she was raped when she was 17.
Yeah.
And that when Lauren started to hit her teenage years, she was afraid that the same thing would happen to Lauren. So she wanted to control all the outcomes. She wanted to control Lauren's journey. And so she started sending the text messages as a way to prevent it from happening to her. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you think we forgot all of the sexual stuff you said?
Yeah.
And how she's not giving him, quote unquote, like enough blowjobs?
Yeah.
She should be giving him 0. She's 13.
And again, I say, Kendra, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That is awful. It is horrific. It should not happen to anyone.
Yeah.
And if that had happened to me, and I was watching my daughter kind of hit that same age, I don't know how I would handle that. I would hope I would handle it better, because I would hope that I would have sought help to deal with my trauma. But you're putting your daughter through a different kind of trauma to save her from the same kind of trauma that you had. Like,
come on. Like,
it
how
doesn't make
narcissistic
sense.
can you be?
And I don't care. Like, it sounds so insensitive to say that I don't care that you were sexually assaulted.
No.
But in this situation, I don't care. That's not an excuse for what you have done.
No.
It does not dismiss. It doesn't mitigate. It doesn't negate. It doesn't do anything to change the fact that these are the actions that you took.
The police believe that this is a case of cyber Munchausen. And we have talked about Munchausen by proxy, which is typically when a parent will make their child sick so that they then get the attention for having a sick child. Oh my gosh, that must be so difficult for you. You have to take care of this child. Let me help you. You're such a hero. You're such a martyr. You're, whatever. And then a lot of times they will try to make the kid sicker to get more and more and more attention or gifts or whatever it is. Sometimes they end up killing the child, either accidentally or on purpose, whatever. So they're saying this is a digital
this
version.
Is a new age version of that.
Exactly. Where you can digitally manipulate, stalk, harass, all the things. And this then gives the parent attention for, oh my gosh, that's so difficult. And it's like Lauren is having this terrible day. She's getting all of these text messages. She comes home and her mom's the hero. Like, oh, I'm here for you. And like, and that's keeping Lauren close to her, and she doesn't want to let Lauren go or whatever. I think personally, she may have been trying to do get Lauren to kill herself, and now I'm the parent who lost a child to suicide, and I get even more attention. I know that sounds crazy, but the amount of time she was telling her.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
No. And some of these parents who start getting like where their kid will get sick and they start getting that attention, it's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. And then they escalate. And the amount of self-harm messages that she was sending to her own daughter.
Insane. I think you will never convince me that there was not some sort of attraction to Owen.
No.
There's
so many layers to this.
I will never believe that. Yeah. Like it's wild.
This is disgusting.
I 100% believe this was sexual harassment. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
disgusting.
Yeah. I don't care what the actual elements are. I just believe in my heart that's what was happening. But obviously, when you're bringing charges, you got to bring what's going to stick. So I'm assuming that that's why those were the things. But she took a plea deal, and in the plea deal, she pled guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor in exchange for dropping the 3 other charges. So the communicating via the internet, whatever, and the obstruction of justice. And during the sentence, so nobody went to trial, which was great because then the kids didn't have to get on the stand and testify, which is probably for the best, right? Because they weren't re-traumatized by that. But at the same time, they did not get to be heard. They didn't get to tell their stories and that kind of thing, right? And the judge, when he hands down the sentence, he does say, like, this is over the top, like, this was disgusting, blah, 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 whatever. But he also kind of empathized with her a little bit because she's like, I sought counseling and I regret it and I'm so sorry and blah, 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 whatever. And so, I mean, I feel like she got off easy because had she not taken this plea deal, she would have had to serve those sentences consecutively. I don't think she could have served them concurrently. The minimum prison sentence was 1 year and 7 months per the sentencing documents. She ended up serving, I think, 19 months is what they said. But she was released on parole August 8th, 2024, and is a supervised parolee until February of 2026. I'm assuming February of 2026 is when her no contact will end because then she will still be on parole but unsupervised. And I believe the parole is for the full 5 years. So like if she violates parole, I think she goes back to serve out a full 5-year sentence. But just this initial part is supervised. And then when it gets to the part where she should be taking accountability, where we find out that it's her, like you said, she's deflecting. So there is always a distance between her and what happened. When she talks about these things happened to Lauren and it was so awful, she is still objective about it because it's not affecting her directly. Like when you see the way the other parents in this documentary are talking about what happened to their children, like you can see the emotion in them. You can see that the fact that it hurt their children hurt them.
Yes.
And you don't.
And the only thing that hurt Kendra was that everybody found out about it.
Yeah, well, that's just because she got caught, okay?
Exactly.
Have you not ever broken the law, Torella?
Nobody's perfect. Y'all gotta watch it. Tell us what you think if you did watch it. Tell us how much were you screaming at your TV?
Yeah, and go outside and collect all the things that you threw out.
Yeah.
Bring them back in. And yeah, we'll be back next week with an episode that's not about someone named Kendra, I hope.
Yeah. Ideally, yes.
Yeah. But we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.